All right. Welcome back. I'm feeling good. Welcome back to the Boys of 161st Street, episode 149. Today is a good day, July 22nd. The Yankees are actually good. I don't even want to call them the Yankees. I want to call them the Scranton Yankees. 4 straight series wins. Scranton Yankees are out and they're about. They're hot in the streets. We're 4-0 since Greg Allen has been starting on the team. Tyler Wade is blocking people. Probably salty because we changed the fan club from Greg Allen, or to Greg Allen, I should say. And
wait, did Tyler Wade block us?
Not us. He blocked other people. We'll get into that. He's just salty about things which, you know, if your fan club is shut down and somebody else takes the fan club, even has a shirt printed on it, go check it out. Buy the shirt, link in bio. I'd be pissed too. And Yanks are playing some small ball. So how are we feeling, fellas? Today, as you know, I'm Luke, Chandler, and Murph. Damon is doing Damon things. But how are we feeling?
Well, we talked about this 13-game stretch, and we talked about the Phillies series not mattering. I feel like it mattered very much.
Who said it didn't matter
right now?
I don't know that I said it didn't matter.
Didn't matter as much as the other games, which is fair.
I mean, it doesn't.
Point is, I'm feeling very good after taking 2 from the Phillies.
What do you mean?
The Phillies were hot, dude. The Phillies were riding super high into that. So good for us and good for the AAA Yankees, because that was
a lot of Mets
awesome.
fans that are very happy with me right now, or with us right now.
Oh, because
dude,
the
Phillies.
If you told me ever, not even at the beginning of this year, just in general, that we would win a game in which Asher Wajahawada, whatever the fuck his last name is, Nick Nelson, Luis Sessa, and Justin Wilson pitched in, and Brooks Kriske, I would have told you to go fuck yourself. So
well, I said that last night. It was Asher gives up a home run on the first fucking pitch. I went to the stadium yesterday, and first pitch home run, just like fuck you, Asher. But then he kind of did he settle in? I don't even know. I kind of just
he gave up. There was a lot of traffic, but he did. You know what? To his credit, not many of them scored. I think he only gave up 2 in like 4 innings, which that easily could have been 7-0. I mean, they had 6 people left in scoring position in the first 4 innings. So
would that have been a Cortez start for sure, right?
Had to be.
So I was just wondering how we got to the situation where Asher Wojciechowski is pitching for the Yankees.
Well, Debbie Garcia has like a 9 ERA,
but he hasn't been in the picture for a while. Like we haven't had.
Well, but
I think that's the Nestor Cortez start.
Well, it is. I thought you were saying why like Asher, but.
No, well, yeah, why Asher? I don't want to see Asher pitch again, but it's just funny to see exactly how you drew it up. The Yankees win the game with Ryan Lamar walking it off. You got Brooks Kriske in the 10th. You got Nick Nelson in a bases-loaded jam for the millionth time, and you got, who else was it?
Glaber bunting.
And Justin Wilson had a clean inning. Did he have a second clean inning? He came back out.
In a third. He came in to shut the door on Nelson's mess, and then he came in and had a shutdown inning after that. He's still on the Sun, but it was nice.
Yeah, we're gonna get into the current occupancy of the Sun in a second, but there are some changes that are being proposed. At least we have to do unanimous decision to get somebody off the Sun. So we'll figure out about that. Just wanted to give a quick shout out to our boy that we met at the stadium yesterday. Bought me a beer, so shout out to him. That was cool. But yeah, let's get into a little bit of the COVID/injury news, just to do a little housekeeping. Honestly, I don't really care if these guys come back or not. I'm totally cool with the Scranton Yankees being the team. They have it to me, the Scranton Yankees seem like, you know, everybody says college football and college sports, like people care because they don't have a job yet. They're trying to get to the NFL and they have that fire underneath them. That's kind of what the Scranton Yankees are right now, because these are all replacement players and stuff like that, guys that, you know, Greg Allen hasn't really ever gotten a shot and he's taking it and he's running with it. Other guys, you know, Ryan Lamar, all these random names. Park hasn't come up, but he's another, like all these random guys, like even fucking Tyler Wade, who's gotten shots. Everybody but Clint Frazier is getting shots right now. And it's nice to see because they genuinely care. They don't have money yet, or not the money that other baseball players are getting. So they're really chomping at the bit to take advantage of this. And they're doing the little things. And I've been talking about it forever, saying I want the Yankees to play small ball. It works. Look at every other fucking team. Home run or bust doesn't work. What's working right now? What's the one thing that changed with this team? Yeah, the players changed, but here's the thing. They changed this whole schematics of the way Boone's going to manage it and like, oh yeah, we don't have power hitters, so we're going to drop down bunts. We're going to move people over. We're going to get fucking base hits. Maybe that's just, the players. The base hits thing is you can't really game plan for as much, but I mean, the bunts and the stealing, that's something that I've always wanted from the Yankees, and they just don't do it. And I hope, here's the thing. I hope when the guys do come back, because obviously they are going to, and when I say I want the Scranton Yankees to stay, I don't mean that. But I hope the game plan stays in place even when the guys come back. I don't think we're not as equipped to do that because we don't have the speed with those guys. That's why it kind of falls by the wayside. But I hope at least we do like the situational bunting and things like that, because that does work.
I agree with everything you just said, which is pretty rare for us, I know. But
dude, do you want to know something cool? Just real quick.
Murph was talking.
You guys were laughing and having a moment. Well, it's going to play into what Murph's going to say. It's going to be cool. So the combination of Greg Allen, Ryan Lamar, and Tyler Wade has accounted for over 30% of our team's stolen bases in like a combined 10 games.
I would imagine that Mike Talkman also carries a significant.
Mike Talkman has 2 of them, which we only have 23 total. So
do with that. I thought he had more than 2. But still, either way, like you were saying, and you've been saying, that we need to start doing this small ball sort of brand of baseball. And it's finally coming around, and it's coming into the other thing that we've been talking about, which is getting a little bit more life, a little bit more juice in the dugout. And that was a huge problem at the beginning of the year. So now that that's sort of working its way out, it's from the small ball that you mentioned. Problem is, like you said, also we're not equipped to continue doing that, especially on the stolen bases side. So having a spark plug guy like Greg Allen in there for the time being is really helpful. And this is the most exciting I've been watching this whole year.
So, dude, I saw something the other day that Greg Allen made it all the way around the bases without a single hit in the inning. When was the last time you saw a Yankee player ever do that?
I haven't.
Walked, stole second, moved to third on a fly ball, and then scored on an errant pickoff.
So with the Greg Allen thing, I was saying this yesterday to Damon. One, he did enough in that game to keep this Greg Allen fan club going, because here's the thing. I kind of related a little bit like the Jeremy Lin thing. Jeremy Lin sucked, but he created hysteria for playing well at a certain time, and that is something that can actually spark a team. And it's all fun and games right now, but like the Greg Allen thing is genuinely sparking the team. And I just hoped, like, I don't think he's gonna be the next coming of fucking Ricky Henderson, but I do think that if he can stay, like, have that one hit per game. He doesn't need to go 4 for 4 or bat 500, but he had a solid RBI that brought it in the game. He has the hustle double and just all that. He just needs to do enough for me to keep this Greg Allen fan club going and not really make it a joke. I don't know when it becomes not a joke anymore. It's currently still kind of a joke, but like, what if he does this for another week? Like, are we gonna start saying like he should get some playing time when some of the starters come back? Like, when does it become not a joke with this Greg Allen stuff?
I mean, there's no reason right now, unless they get somebody at the deadline, there's no reason that Greg Allen shouldn't be in left field until he starts, falling off. Because right now, who else is going to play left? You got Judge, who's going to play every day, and Allen, and then I guess Brett Gardner. But like,
I would rather Greg Allen than Brett Gardner.
I'd rather Greg Allen than Brett Gardner. I'd rather have Greg Allen in the outfield over Andujar, who's coming back soon. I'd rather have him in the outfield over Tyler Wade.
Florial? Who would you rather there?
I'd rather have him over Florial right now.
I think that's the closest debate out of any of those, because here's the thing. Like you said, Judge will come back. So right now the starting outfield is Florial, Allen, and Gardner. So you got to believe Gardner's the first to go there when Judge comes back. So you swap that out. Then it's going
to be Florial.
But then you're assuming that we're going to get somebody in the deadline who's an outfielder. So there is one of those three can potentially be in the starting outfield. I think it's between Florial and Allen. Like, let's say, just for argument's sake, we get Marte. Marte is the center fielder. Judge is in right field. Who's playing left? Answer 3, 2, 1, go.
Sorry, I was just thinking of something else real quick. I know
this is literally as quick as it gets. Murph, who'd you go?
If this was all happening tomorrow, Greg Allen.
I would also go Greg Allen. Listen to how ass backwards this is. By Greg Allen playing as well as he is, he's actually costing himself a job.
Wow.
By him playing well and keeping us, because he's been the spark plug of this team while everybody's dead. Like, he's been the spark plug of this team by playing well and sparking something enough for them to win, and maybe buy at the deadline. You buy an outfielder that replaces him because he played well.
I don't get
You see
what
what
you're
I'm
That's
saying.
a little
there?
roundabout, but I.
Well,
kinda
no, if
see
he's
what you're
playing,
saying.
this well, right now he's playing probably the best on the team in the last 5 games.
Sure.
And these are the most important games leading up to the deadline.
Sure.
If he plays well and you're winning these games and you're going to go
'cause
buy it
you're
out,
considering.
you're going.
'Cause now we're gonna be
'Cause if he-
buyers and
yeah,
Now
sellers.
we're-
okay.
Now we're going to be
I'm
buyers,
on the
and it's
team.
going to eventually take his spot because of how well he's playing. He's going to lose his job
Because
in a
if we
weird
were
ass
sellers,
backwards way.
he'd probably start for the rest of the year.
Exactly.
So this reminds me a little bit of. I mean, obviously it's been 5 games, but I can't help but try to tie it into Urshela, who was another guy who had a little bit of a stint in the majors.
the
Then we
Indians.
had him, brought him in from the Indians too, of all things. Had him in the minors for a little bit. He came up and exploded. Obviously, it's a tall order to say that Greg Allen's going to turn into Urshela, but like, got to give him a little bit of a chance here. Like, keep
Listen,
him up. Even if we bring in an outfielder, keep him on the MLB roster until everybody comes back at least. Give him
Well,
a
like
little bit of
Rella
a
was
shot.
saying on the last episode, he's got a role on this team going forward. He's a switch hitter. He's fast as shit. He steals bases. Like, I would rather have Greg Allen coming in a playoff series as a defensive replacement / speed guy over Tyler Wade, which is what the default is now. So
I think that's.
He's got a
I
spot.
said that last week, and I think that's exactly what he is. I'm not going to overreact because even if he does continue to hit really well, he doesn't actually. What's the ceiling for him? I think the ceiling, if he continues to hit, he won't hit like this. Let's say he hits like 250, but he does all these things. He's a Tyler Wade. I think he's going to be better than Tyler Wade because here's the thing: he has Tyler Wade has the one up on him because he could play infield and outfield. Greg Allen's a switch hitter, so what would you prefer there? I would prefer Greg Allen, and I think as like Wade has been that 26th man because he's so versatile for us. I think that is Greg Allen has his sights set on 26th man, and I think he's perfectly content with that. And I'd be happy with him as the 26th man for sure. It's a damn good 26th man to have.
he's just
As
so
long as he
exciting,
keeps up
man.
some
Pinch running in the
resemblance of what he's
playoffs, like
doing.
that's something that I could see him being an enormous spark plug for, whether or not he's starting or not, which he could be. Like we just said, Florial could be the odd man out. I will give Florial some credit here too, because the numbers may not show how good Florial's been doing, but he's been doing great. Like Greg Allen has been getting on, and Florial has been getting him in with sack flies and shit, which doesn't look. He does get the RBI for that, but he's also been moving him over from second to third on RBI. He's putting the ball in play, which is more than you could say about a lot of the players on the Yankees. So that's
he's also
awesome.
having a really good. He's having a really good year in AAA too, so it's not like he's been fluky, came up, got a little lucky. Like he's been a solid player.
And
all year.
he's different from the other guys like Greg Allen, whereas he's got pedigree. He's genuinely supposed to be good. So that this is less of a fluke, more of a like, okay, this guy's supposed to be good and he's playing well. So that's and he's a lefty too. So I can there is an argument to be made that he would be the guy starting in the outfield. If he plays center field, so I'm damn sure he could play left field is inevitably where the opening is probably going to be. I don't foresee us getting 2 outfielders. Hicks won't be there. Stanton probably isn't going to play the outfield. He's going to try to play in Miami in a week or so, but I would prefer to have him just DH, to be honest. And then
We might be looking for another DH after he tries to play in the outfield.
Yeah, I'd prefer to just have him parked there now that we found this gold with Greg Allen. I have a question for you guys. Yesterday's game was pretty fun. I was at the game. Great time. Where does that game rank for you guys in terms of games of the year? I think this could be an ongoing thing where we find game of the year, and then whenever a good one happens, we see if it trumps it, and by the end of the year, we always know what game was the most fun. So I think that game yesterday is pretty up there. Maybe I'm biased because I was there, and to be fair, Damon also wanted to leave when it was 5-2. He thought we had it in the bag, and then little did he know that Nick Nelson would come in. But I think yesterday's game was so fucking exciting, and I wanted to see where you guys had it in terms of games of the year.
I mean, I have it at number 1. The only one I can think of
Number
that's
1.
even close. Yeah, the only things I can think of close are like the walk-off triple plays, which were cool. I think there's 2 of those.
The White Sox game with the triple play is one of the ones I have written down here as potential games of the year. I remember talking about that one. The other 2, which feels like last year's Kluber's no-hitter.
Oh, fuck. I forgot.
I
forgot Kluber was on the team.
Yeah, and Garrett Cole's 129 pitch shutout against the Astros.
Oh, no, that was
Wait, no,
okay.
that's
So that was
number one for me.
one. That was one. And then this is
Yeah.
like 1B. Because Cole's just, if it wasn't against the Astros,
was-
it wouldn't have been as electric, but that was fucking awesome.
Plus, the Judge home run was the only run. Like, somehow that makes it a little sweeter.
So you would put Cole
Um,
over everything. Cole 1. Where's Kluber's no for you? That has to be 2.
Yeah.
I could
okay.
imagine that.
And then I put this one 3 and then White Sox 4.
Okay.
So the
I'm
big
cool with that
thing-
ranking. I forgot about the no-hitter. I thought that was like 2015.
Feels like last year.
Yeah.
The big thing about this one that made it more exciting was that it was the small ball oriented. Like,
Small
Krisky
ball.
came
Gleyber
in, somehow figured it
bunted.
out, small ball. No, yeah. So Gleyber Torres bunted. He's bunted like 4 times in his career, and then gets
that a
Gary
fact?
over, and then it'd be. I don't know. I'm pretty sure
don't think
they
that's a
said it
fact.
on the post game show. I don't know if it was 4, but it was something really low, and it'd be the only thing that would have been cooler is if Lamar's hit actually got out into the short porch. That would have been awesome. I thought it got out.
Yeah,
I didn't
seeing
realize
it
that.
live, it was so
I was like,
fun.
wow.
I didn't know where to look with my eyes because I was in the left field bleachers, so I saw it happen. I was at first watching the outfielder to see if it would get over his head, but it didn't even matter because there was a man on Stanton was on third, I think it was. So it literally didn't matter. So after I knew the game was over because it was still in the air, I realized I had a realization that like, okay, this game's over anyway. So I wanted to look at Ryan Lamar to see what he was doing, and he was like, hand up in the air. That's what I was like pandering back and forth, like, oh, what do I watch? What do I watch? And he was everyone was freaking the fuck out. Just a very cool thing to watch. And I had like the bird's eye view in the center field bar, which if you're ever going to the stadium, the most underrated place to be is the standing room center field bar. It's like the sky deck. It's unbelievable. A lot of fun. There's actually TVs there too. So if you want to watch the broadcast a little bit and watch the game too, cool time. But yeah, man, a lot of fun. I think this genuinely is like I'm very confident in the season now.
I'm not saying I'm very confident in the season yet. Like I feel a lot better than I did.
Not saying much,
yeah,
but-
we're riding high and there's a lot of cool stuff going on, but I mean, we still have a tall task. Like the people that we're catching are no scrubs. It's not like we're going to try and catch the Mariners who inevitably are going to fall off. We're going after the Rays, the A's, and the fucking Red Sox. So that's a tall task. We're not just gonna we're gonna need to win a lot, and we're gonna need some help. You can't fuck around and lose games to the Red Sox anymore. I mean, obviously, I don't expect them to go like 10-0 the rest of the year. I'm just saying you can't go get swept in Boston. You can't go to the Trop and play like shit. Like every game matters now. Like they left their self with a razor thin margin of error.
So
But it's possible.
I have a
now.
question
I feel
for
like
you
the
that
season's
pertains
not
to
dead.
this.
Okay.
So this is all telling. I said this to Damon yesterday. So we were kind of looking at the big board in center field when they're at the game to see the other scores of games. And the Red Sox are currently playing the Blue Jays, who, when you look at it, we're closer to the Blue Jays because of the wild card race. They were technically above us. I think we
passed them now.
We passed them now. But my question to him was, it was 5-3. I'll set the scene for you. It was 5-3, and Teoscar Hernandez, 5-3 Red Sox, and Teoscar Hernandez hit a solo shot. I said, Damon, I painted that picture for him. I said, immediate reaction, how does that make you feel? So how, in that situation, how would that make you guys feel? Are you happy or sad about that? Because that's all telling about what you think the trajectory of the season would be.
I'm happy about that. I'd rather chase down the Red Sox.
That's what I mean. So that means you guys think the AL East is still alive, which I do too. And because at first I was conflicted. I was like, oh, well, like you want to shoot for the stars and you just might reach them. If you're saying that you are happy that if you're happy that the Blue Jays lose, it's like, okay, like you're shooting for mediocrity. You're just settling right now. Like there's a lot of season left. Yes, we have a tall task and we'll see a lot more what this team's made of when the guys come back. And after this huge stretch of games that starts tonight, Boston for 4 and then Tampa Bay for 3. That's just, we're going to get a good taste of where we're at. And we might have a new team, a couple new players on the team then. But I genuinely believe that we do still have a shot at the wild card, at the AL East.
if we win 3 out of 4 on the Red Sox in the next few days, then it's a way, way, way different outlook on the rest of the division than if we split.
What are we currently behind?
'Cause we're 7 games back, I
7.
think, currently. So if we come knocking on the door and win 3 out of 4 against Boston,
Yeah.
that
I think you
sends
have
a
to win.
message, I
You
think.
have to win 5 out of the next 7 against the Red Sox and the Rays combined. In any shape, sort of fashion, you have to take 5 of the next 7. I think if you want a chance,
'Cause the
maybe
Rays-
4 and 3, but you can't go out there and put up a below 500 record in these next 7 and expect to come back in August and September.
The Rays
This
are right
stretch-
there. Yeah.
Oh, I know.
Essentially,
This
just
is
have to
we
win
say
both
this
series.
every series, but this is the season. These next 7, as far as the East goes.
Yeah.
Because if you fuck
1,000,000%.
this away and you go 2 and 5 or whatever, and you bury yourself double digits behind with a month and a half, 2 months remaining, like you can kiss it goodbye unless you go on an amazing stretch of games. But you have a chance now, and this is it. This is these 7 games. There's no second chance after this for the East. You go out there and you have to at least stay alive.
It's a good time for a spark, but it's a bad time to have a lot of your lineup and rotation out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So
I'm
it's
like
it's
excited
very
because
interesting.
I'm excited because I love the next man up guys. I just wish they were doing it like against the Marlins this weekend, not the fucking best team in the American
Yeah.
League. But
Like
whatever.
for this to be the most important part of the season, at least so far, and
Yeah.
probably going forward, to have what was it like Ryan Lamar, Brett Gardner, and Allen in the outfield. Like,
I mean, they did it in Boston though. They could do it again.
no,
Like,
I know. I'm not saying they can't. I'm
Yeah.
just saying like, yikes! Like,
know what's
no
weird?
idea what's gonna happen.
You know what's weird?
Buckle up.
I'm weirdly confident. I have never felt confidence pretty much this whole season since opening day. I am weirdly confident with this team. Like going into tomorrow against Boston, like last month, I would have felt like we're walking into a buzzsaw. Tomorrow, I'm just like, I feel confident. Even with this team, or tonight, I mean, Garrett Cole's pitching too, so that's fucking awesome. Like tonight, he might actually have some run support behind him, which is crazy. I mean, they did it against Aaron Nola. They did it against...
Did you say Garrett Cole's pitching tonight?
Tomorrow, I mean. Tonight,
yeah.
tonight is Montgomery.
Tonight's
yeah.
Montgomery, who's gotten
Chris
0
Sale's
runs of
coming back
support in
somewhat
his
soon.
last
He's not
5.
pitching, is he?
Who? What'd you say?
No, he's not.
Chris Sale's not pitching in this series, right? I know he's coming back.
He's on his
soon.
way
No.
back.
Dude, Jordan Montgomery has gotten a grand total of
Yeah.
0 runs behind him in the last 5 games. So maybe the next man up guys can fix that, because that poor bastard. He's really done a decent job this year.
Yeah.
I mean, at least keeping you in the game. He's not going to win a Cy Young or anything, but Montgomery's giving us like 5-6 innings of 3-run ball every time he's out there.
Yeah. And one last thing on these next man up Yankees is it's just, this is what it took to spark this season. Like, I think this is genuinely the way the life was with the starters. I think this is the only way we could have sparked the season, because now when they do come back, there's the morale in the locker room has now 180-degree flipped because of these next man up guys, and now they can pass the torch. I feel like I don't think it just gets like when the guys come back. I don't think it's just straight up done. Like, I think they like turn the tides for the whole team. You know what I mean? Even when the guys come back, like they come back with new confidence because of what they transferred to them. I don't know if that makes any sense.
No, it does.
Yeah, I
So.
get it.
I'm feeling good. So I wanted to talk a little bit about some of the individual players. So we talked a lot about Greg Allen, and I wanted to bring up a little bit about Mr. Rugi Odor, because he has been the lifeblood of this team, not necessarily due to his performance. And now he's actually performing. So Chandler, I wanted you to
I don't
give
think
me...
it's a coincidence that the sirens are behind you right now.
Oh, yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
That ain't a
The man's
soundboard,
on
baby.
fire. The man is on fire. In his last 15, 318 batting average, 400 on base, 636 slugging, 4 home runs, and 10 RBIs. And since he changed his number, he's still doing pretty well. You know, he's slugging almost 9, or not slugging, excuse me, that would be insane. But his OPS is almost 900. He's batting over 260, on base in the mid 300s. The man's good. It's time to have the discussion that Odor is a good player.
I mean, listen, he's still. We have this weird conversation with everybody about like age. Like, could this be a breakout. I don't necessarily think it's a breakout, but I do think that he's a young player. He's the same age as Clint.
Dude, he's 27.
He's the same age as Clint,
And
which is wild.
He's done it, though. He got that big extension from the Rangers for a reason. He has more home runs by like 60 than
what was that stat
Robert
about second baseman?
Yeah, it was like in his through the age 27 season, like second baseman home runs, he was 50 or 60 ahead of Cano.
He's the only one ever to have that many. Oh no, it was about 20 home run seasons. He's had He had 7 20 home run seasons before the age of like whatever he is. Is the only?
I think it was 10 home run seasons though.
No, it was 20.
Because I think he broke. I think this year counted after his home run a couple days ago. Like I think that's why
his baseball reference. But
he's got 157 home runs already.
Well, he had like a 30 or 40, couple of 30, 40 years like earlier.
Yeah, he's got 33, 30.
Yeah.
He was really good. I mean, he had 33 home runs.
He has 5 20-plus home run seasons.
Yeah.
And he probably has 7, 10 plus.
Wait, where do you see 20 plus? He's got 1, 2,
Those
3.
are doubles. Those are doubles.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's got 3, but no, I do. I mean, in 2016, he had 271 with 33 home runs. That's not bad. That's not bad. He's 27.
That is exceptional. He was probably an all-star that year, no?
Yeah, absolutely he was.
And I don't want to freak out too much because for the year right now, he does still have 102 OPS plus, which is very major league average. But as of recently,
above average. It is above
slightly
average.
Above average. But when you look at it, I mean, dude, he just has a knack for the big moment. Like he may not be hitting unbelievable all throughout the year, but it seems like even when he was playing so bad and we were like, this guy stinks, he still managed to come out in the big moments and he's got the confidence. Like he pimps every fucking home run and it's awesome.
Dude,
I wish
it is bunting. His bunting is what gets me. He's hitting 400 on bunts this year.
Is that the stat?
Yeah, he's 2 for 5.
Damn.
He's fucking awesome.
So,
he's electric, man. And I tweeted out yesterday, have you ever seen Odor all the way in the dugout? I've not.
No.
He's at least on the top step, like ready to fucking roll.
He was on deck. He was after Ryan Lamar yesterday.
He was in the hole.
He
was like sitting on top of the dugout.
No, I was watching him in the dugout. He wasn't in the dugout. I was watching him in the on-deck circle. He wasn't in the on-deck circle. He was pacing back and forth like a bull, just ready to fucking do. And that's the thing, too. There are players who don't want the big moment like that. He genuinely not wanted. He needed to be the guy to have the chance to walk it off. He wanted it so fucking bad more than he wanted his next breath. And that's what you fucking, like, you can't teach that. You can't teach heart, can't teach clutch, and he's got both of those things. Dude, he's just a fucking fire hose. I love this guy.
We needed that guy so bad, and it's just great that we have it finally.
Yeah. So I want to turn the clocks to a little bit of the Sun watch. So currently on the Sun, and this is something we do here, is that if a... Jesus Christ, sorry. There's a bus behind my apartment. City living.
I thought that was a sound for the Sun segment for a quick second.
Clip that. So the Sun watch, currently on the Sun, is Wandy Peralta, Mike Ford, Justin Wilson, and Brooks Kriske. So the table has been set for potential entries to the Sun, which we will now debate, is Tyler Wade and Nick Nelson are on the clock. But Brooks Kriske, there's a motion that he could be potentially taken off the Sun. So let's discuss, starting with Brooks Kriske. Are we taking him off the Sun?
He got the win yesterday.
That's going to me? I think that was enough for me because he had a good season, remember? Like last year or 2 years ago, I think it was 2019. He was awesome. In his inaugural debut season, he was good. Yeah, I mean, he was absolutely fucking terrible for a little bit. But I would pass that motion for him to come down from the Sun tentatively. At least get him boarded on the ship and headed back towards Earth.
Also, keep in mind, for those listening, it has to be unanimous. So that's one vote for Kriske to come off the Sun. Murphy, where do you sit?
Bring him back. Bring him back to Earth.
All right, we got 2 for yes. It's deciding factor. It's like vote. Dodgeball with the Chuck Norris thumbs up, thumbs down.
I'm gonna say no because here's the deciding factor too. One, he has a 10.5 ERA still this year. 2, the way he ran out yesterday, you guys didn't see it in the dugout. It was the classic meme of JT Realmuto just shaking his head. He ran out like he had a stick up his ass. So I'm going to give him the no on that because he looked like the most odd, awkward guy in the world. Me and Damon looked at each other like, what the oh, fuck. Like, this is about to happen. So I'm going to say no for today.
Okay.
Sorry,
Fair enough.
Brooks.
That's why it's unanimous.
I think Damon also would be on the team with saying that he should stay up there. So
I don't have an issue with it. I was just, recency bias.
yeah. So
I mean, he did put his nuts on the table yesterday in a emphatic way.
Next motion is Mr. Tyler Wade. So
Fucking see ya.
You're sending him to the sun.
Yep. 100% yes.
Murphy.
I'm not quite sending him to the sun. I think he's taking that little, who was the guy? Jeff Bezos. Bezos just went up in the spaceship.
Did you say who is Jeff Bezos?
And then he
Acting
came
like
back
you didn't know exactly who you were talking
No,
about.
no.
Yeah, hey, really? You ever heard of this Amazon thing?
That was exactly like how you found Baseball Savant for the first time. It's like, hey guys, I found this really cool website for the first time. You guys ever heard of Baseball Savant? It's like, there's this guy. I don't know if you guys know Jeff Bezos, but he went up to the moon the other day, wherever the fucking space.
I remember his name for a split
Murphy,
second.
before you finish your decision, Tyler Wade's hitting 194. He has 0 home runs. His OPS is below 500.
And his OPS plus is 39.
39.
Yeah.
That's 61 below average.
All right.
Good
Whatever.
math.
You've convinced me.
No, I
Send him
mean
to
you
the
make
sun.
your
Get him outta
decision.
here.
I just
Send him
want
to
you
the
to have
sun.
all the facts.
Nope.
I'm gonna send him to
Send
the sun for the reason that Greg Allen is taking he has competition for the 26th man. So I think, and he's blocking people. I wanted to point out, somebody tweeted at him and said specifically this: the Yankees brought up 10 players from AAA, and T Wade is still the worst player on the team. And then he followed it up with all of the players that he was specifically referencing with the 10. He goes, Allen - keeper, Lamar AAA, Florial, keep him because Gardner stinks, Gittins, be patient, Park, play him, Ambergris, oh well, Wade to the moon. We'll say sun in our case. And I think and then immediately he put below in that thread, Tyler Wade you are blocked from following Tyler Wade, viewing Tyler Wade's tweets. So Tyler Wade's feeling the pressure from New York right now, and I think the pressure is being applied by Mr. Greg Allen.
Remember when he hit us with the LOL all right bet, just wait and see?
Still waiting.
I mean, you can't say something like that and then be worse than your career average.
And be worse than the 10 people you call up to the Yankees when you were on the opening day roster.
Dude, he has 4 more strikeouts than hits this year. It's bad news.
We'll send him. That's one I'm sad about. I have not been sad about sending anybody to the sun yet.
Remember when we heckled him in spring training? That was electric. Fun times.
So here's the thing too. This is a historic moment for our podcast. It's the first fan club that has been sent to the sun.
I was never a part of that. That was in the BC era, as you like to call
Before Chandler. Yeah. I don't know, man. So that's 2 votes for yes, send him to the sun?
Yep.
Welcome to the sun, Tyler Wade. Motion passed. So Tyler Wade has now joined the sun. Now, last one is Nick Nelson.
How the fuck was Nick Nelson not
on the sun
already?
I think that was just
use the sun too. My man is pasty.
Yeah, that was just a lapse in judgment by us. So Nick Nelson, Let's look up his stats for the year. I mean, just something to be said. Like he's been put into bases loaded spots every fucking week.
It's kind of funny that those runs went against Zach Britton tonight, and he's still his ERA. Nick Nelson's ERA went down after last night.
Yeah, Nick Nelson's ERA was a 9.45. He has a -1 WAR. Dude, I mean, I'm good with him being on the Sun, just because I don't want to see him fucking pitch ever again.
No, I mean, poor bastard. Yeah, Boone puts him in the worst situations possible, but I mean, eventually a blind squirrel finds a nut. Like you would think eventually he could get out of a bases loaded jam. I think he's like 0 for 509. Every time he goes in, it's just instant wild pitches, hits, home runs, you name it.
I mean, he threw one in the dirt and scored a run. That's what tied the game.
Dude, he didn't even make it to the dirt. I think he hit the fucking grass. Like, he might have spiked that off his cleat.
I'm sending him.
Gone later.
Gone.
All
See
right.
ya.
So the current
Boom.
Sun occupancy that has adjourned our meeting for the Sun watch, or whatever you want to call this, Sun count. Wandy, Ford, Justin Wilson, Krisky, Wade, Nelson, and Bruce. Jay Bruce is the Sunmeister. So he's graduated from the Sun.
He is the Sun.
He graduated from Sun School. So that has been that. So let's get into, I don't know. I think, what else did you guys want to talk about before we go to the voicemails?
That's a lot of people on the
Chapman.
Sun. That's all I gotta say.
Is there a capacity on the Sun?
No.
I
Sounds
feel
pretty
like
big.
the Sun should be. You got to be like really, really bad to be on. The
These
Sun.
guys have been really, really bad.
I know that's the thing. Like, so that's
Yeah.
why I was kind of defending Tyler Wade for a second. I was like, has he really been that bad?
Yeah.
Yes.
And then you hit me in the face with some facts.
Tyler
He
Wade
isn't that
has
bad.
been the worst position player on this team since Jay Bruce became the Sunmeister, as Rella designated him.
First of all, that was my thing. The Sun.
That was you. That was you.
That was you. You're right. You're right. As
That's
I was.
okay. I just want a little credit.
So just before we go to voicemails, a couple little news and notes from around the league, or around other leagues for that. Tanaka's pitching in the Olympics, so that's fun. I will be watching that. The Olympics start next week. For those who didn't know, who live under a rock, Melky Cabrera is in the Olympics. Todd Frazier's in the Olympics. I'm excited for the Olympics. Jose Batista is in the Olympics. I'm excited for the Olympics, and I will be.
Maybe we can get Odor on the Olympic team and get a Batista Odor rematch.
It's just so weird because the Olympics, like, no one's playing. Like, it's all like Todd Frazier, who's I think out of the league.
See, I wish what they would do. I wish they'd have.
Well, no, I
prospects
read
play
something. You
instead of
have
old
to
guys.
be. You have to be below the majors in AAA to compete in the
Yeah,
Olympics.
Julio Rodriguez is playing.
I wish
And
they
the-
waited for the All-Star break this season and just had like an extra week or something, because they were already complaining about how they didn't have enough time in between. I think Kike Hernandez said that. So I wish they would just be like, let's take a little bit longer of an All-Star break, line it up with once every 4 years with the Olympics, and just send out a good fucking team. But that's kind of like the World Baseball Classic, and I have fond memories of watching Stanton in the World Baseball Classic. I know that's in the off season, right? But like if it's the fucking Olympics, like, let's send out a fucking good team. It just so happens that the basketball Olympics is always a good team because that's in the off season, right? It's in the summer.
Yeah.
So I just wish we could send out the nice, like,
Well,
the full
our
team.
basketball Olympic team fucking blows.
I know.
I
I'm
think
just.
that's what hockey does.
I just wish hockey does the young kids, right?
No, they used to. Now they did. Then they did NHL for a
I
while.
don't know,
think
man.
they
I've
just
seen
took
the
a
Mighty
hiatus.
Ducks.
Yeah. I just
Well,
wish
that
we
Me
could.
too, though.
No, like the Miracle 1980 team was all college kids, but
Yeah.
recently they went to pros.
Dude, just imagine, like, just the best players playing against each other. Like, Ohtani is going against for his team, and like, we got Mike Trout, and just like the best.
Ohtani pitching to Trout. Imagine.
Unbelievable. Like, that would be so fucking cool to watch. I hope if Manfred is listening, he gives them a break and they all decide to go fucking play like Judge and probably not Stanton, but he would probably get the nod. I don't know, like Posey probably behind the dish, or Realmuto's probably the guy there. It just would be so fun. I'd be interested to see somebody make like a Team USA to see who that team would be. But
That'd be fun.
that's
I don't
neither
even know
here
if
nor
Judge
there.
would make it.
Yeah, he would. So let's get into our first voicemail. First one is from the Greg Allen guy. So let's have him take the floor.
It's your boy, Jasheen Benjamin, a.k.a. Mr. Greg Allen, dude. I'm the dude that has Greg Allen's name over the Kobe Ellsbury jersey. But you know what? That's our man. He's going to go crazy, bro. He's going to go crazy. He's an explosive. The team's been looking sharp. The bullpen needs to work on it still. Other than that, we're going to the playoffs, bro. I don't care what anybody says. The Red Sox do not have shit on us. The Rays don't. Bro, I'm telling you, this whole second half, we're turning it around. We're flipping it up, bro. Let's go, Yanks. Let's go.
I'm with you, Greg Allen, dude. And he fired the bleachers up, so I'll give him a shout out right there. He was telling everybody to stand up. When you should stand up, 2 outs, get the fuck up. I'm having a blast with Greg Allen on this team. You're preaching to the choir, Mr. Greg Allen. I will say we were kind of the first to the Greg Allen train. Go check the tape. We posted that post way early on after I think it was Sunday night baseball. I talked about Greg Allen, so we are the Greg Allen guys. But
You know what? There's a lot to be said about the bleacher guy that gets everybody hyped.
oh yeah, you need a
If
guy
you're
like
good
that.
at that, I think you can change the whole momentum of the game.
See, I'm never really that guy in the bleachers. I kind of just can get my own self hyped, but here's my thing. If you're in the bleachers and you're not getting hyped, like, don't be in the bleachers. So I don't need to tell you guys that you should be standing up when it's bases loaded. Like, that shouldn't need to be said. So, but you have to have the driver of the bus in the bleachers, and he was definitely the driver of the bus yesterday. So, shout out to you. Shout out to the Yankees for being good. Shout out to Greg Allen for being just the fucking best. So,
I wish he would come on the show.
Greg Allen?
Yeah.
He saw the Greg Allen guy's story yesterday, so.
Did he?
He's checking the socials. He knows that people like him.
I DM'd him. What an asshole. Not
Yeah.
actually. I love you, Greg, if you're listening.
Hey, this is Preston. I'm sorry that I sound like I'm dead. I just woke up.
It's okay.
But what do you guys think about us making the playoffs? We're 3.5 games behind the Athletics. And honestly, if we stay in the top streak, I think we will make either the 4 seed or the 5 seed. What are your options?
I mean, yeah, it sounds like you're dead, but we don't care. Appreciate the call. 914-469-2168 is the line. You guys need to tell us where you're from, what your name is, too, so we could get a sense for who you are a little bit. But in terms of making the playoffs, I think we said it before. I'm fully back on board. Panic meter has been dusted off, and I'm going to knock it back down to about, I'm not fully confident yet because we got to see what the starters look like when they come back, but I'm about halfway, I'd say, in terms of a panic meter, 5 out of 10. Where you guys at?
Panic meter is still like a 6 just because of how much we have to make up now. Like I said earlier, our margin for error is just razor thin. But you know what? I think they can make the playoffs. I don't think it's a foregone conclusion that they're sellers and missing the playoffs anymore. So that is what I'll say.
I'm not nearly as frustrated as I was before. That's for sure. Panic meter, I think, is still around a 5. But I think right now the odds that we make the playoffs, in my mind, are better than the odds that we miss it. Knock on wood.
Yeah, like
Vegas would disagree with you.
I don't want to sound like we are flip-flopping. That's why I'm still at a 5 because, like I said, these last 4 games, we're on a 4-game winning streak, 4 series winning streak too. Like, a lot can change in the next, like, if these next 4 games or 7 games, like we said, if we go, 2-5 in those 7, we're in a different spot, and we're very much not in the AL East. I think that could, if we go 2-7 in the next 7, we're probably not going to win the AL East because that puts us back a ton because those are against the 2 teams that are leading the AL East as it sits. Wild card would still be in contention, but we like this next week is a very fucking big week. It's very important. Every game is quite literally a wild card game for us. We need to treat it like that. Like it's win or fucking go home. And this team has been playing well for the last week, but they're also the Scranton Yankees, so it wouldn't shock me if they came down to earth a little bit. So that's also another thing going for us that could be negative. But listen, man, team's good on paper if they can keep the confidence up. I'm confident in this team too. So I think our chances of making the playoffs, I would put it in my Luke confidence meter, I would say like 75%. I'm sitting at
75%.
That's where I sit right to make a wild card.
Yeah, I was gonna say like 40% for a wild card.
I don't know. I'm feeling good.
Yeah, I think it's a little over 50, but a little less than the 75.
I think I'll sit with
I think we got about a 10% chance of winning the division, and I think we got like a 55-60% chance of making the wild card.
I'll sit with you, Murph. I'll sit at your table with that. 60%.
Appreciate that. We're not often at the same table, Mr. Ella.
No, we're not.
Hey boys, this is Nelly calling again from Utah. I'm just watching the replay of Odor pimping that home run. Man, this team is looking like they're having fun. I love that Torres it looks like he's finding his stride again. I don't want to jinx anything. What the announcer just said, this team looks like they're having fun, and I agree. Let's go Yankees. Let's keep this momentum.
They are having fun. I'm having fun. Odor.
Just like Odor's amazing.
Odor's amazing. Appreciate the call, Nelly.
We
recurring
didn't talk
caller.
about Glaber at all, though. That is one thing. I mean, he's been
So
pretty
let's talk
fucking
about
good.
him. Let's talk about him then.
Yeah, she brought him up. We've completely neglected him for the whole episode. He's got 3 home runs in his last 4 games.
Is he back?
Is he good? Is he good again?
Murph, what do you think?
I might need 4 more games to tell, but
We need
it's
Glaber.
encouraging.
We need some of those classic Glaber grand slams against the Red Sox that he likes to have.
Yeah.
If he
I
goes
like
on one
that.
of those little Orioles streaks again, but against the Red Sox, that'd be great.
I mean, if he goes on an Orioles streak against the Red Sox, we're winning the division. We're winning 120 games. I don't even know if that's
I'm definitely not
mathematically
sold on
possible.
him being back yet, though. Like, he's definitely not back in my mind, but he's starting. He's chipping away.
It is actually not mathematically possible for us to win 120 games. That's sad.
I mean, did you expect that would be possible?
Not particularly, but I still feel like there's a lot of time left. So when I said it, I figured we'd have to go like 60-5 or something. I didn't know it was like completely impossible. So now I'm sad. But no, we're gonna.
Really nice to see the Yankees bunting and stealing bases and playing hard-nosed baseball. And it's very refreshing to see, but also looking at this is the way partially a roster needs to be constructed. This all comes back to Cashman and the way this lineup is made. I firmly believe we are only succeeding because half this lineup is hurt. And we have AAA guys who have heart and actually want to play for something. It's nice to see. It's not sustainable, but it's nice to see.
I liked what he said about this team's playing hard-nosed baseball. I think that's a good way to put it. Sounds like just like a football reference. So
We're just real gritty out there.
we're the grinders. We're fucking ground and pound. We're getting it done. Just like, I mean, he even said it. I don't think it's sustainable. I agree. It could be. We could sit here and, I mean, it's happened before. We've had the replacement teams. My question to you guys is like, how does this happen? This is the 3rd time now that the replacements spark the team. Why does this keep, like, why can't the starters just fucking do it? Like, I don't understand. This is not coincidence. This is happening. I mean, our minor league system has the best record in baseball. So it's just wild to me that this is happening for a 3rd time.
Well, we're putting in guys that can do something other than home run or bust. Yeah, we have a lot of guys that can fill up a stat sheet, but what does that do on a day-to-day basis? I've been saying it since February that the way the lineup's constructed, yeah, you're going to have a lot of great years. We might make the playoffs even, but the lineup is not constructed for sustainable success the way it is. I mean, it is now with the replacements, maybe not this exact lineup, but you know what I mean? Those kind of guys. You need to have speed. You need to have these other things. You cannot rely on 7 home runs a game to win forever. So I agree with him.
Completely agree. I agree with everything you just said and everything he just said. I wish it was sustainable. That'd be great. But
Yeah, it'd be
you know,
awesome if we
it
could have
takes-
Judge and Stanton hitting home runs back to back every night, but that's not going to happen.
If it takes this team going on a pretty hot stretch while everybody else is hurt or sick to get us into a playoff position where the home run or bust, we can roll the dice with that in the playoffs, then fine. Power to it. But right now, it's been the most enjoyable baseball I've watched all year.
I'm just conflicted
It's all
because like
around.
now is Cashman to be praised for building a farm system that can play like this? Yes, but on the flip side of that, none of them are playing in the big leagues on a consistent basis because he's got all these splashy power hitters on the lineup every night that aren't doing it. So where do you fall on that spectrum? There needs to be a balance. Yes, there's things to be happy about, but there's also the team that's just struggled the entire time and really since 2020. So find that balance and maybe people won't be calling for your head every fucking day.
Agreed.
Another thing to think about is that Boone's been managing games differently with this roster than he has when everybody's healthy. And I think
You
it
have
just looks
to.
a little better on his part. Like, he's letting them steal bases. He's using the small ball. He's, not that we've been coming after Boone for quite some time for mismanaging games. And I feel like he's been managing this team that has a little bit of speed and it's built a little differently than he has with the big power hitting lineup that we traditionally use.
Yeah, I haven't been fuck Boone in a little while. At least
I
2
was
weeks.
I was pretty fuck Boone when he pulled in Nelson last night. That was pretty not cool, but
like, what were I don't think we talked about this either. What were the alternatives? We didn't see Chad Green.
We also have a 4-game series with the Red Sox coming up, no off day. So we probably didn't want to burn the bullpen on a non-league game.
Yeah, but when
Nelson?
every game matters. Like, I don't know. I don't know how
You
much we
can't
can.
play for tomorrow when
Yeah.
like you said, every game matters. You don't have the luxury of playing for tomorrow when you come out and barely squeak over 500 in the first 80 something. You don't get that luxury.
But a little bit you can, because like he said, we do have to win every game. But I mean, Red Sox Rays right now is make or break. So a little bit of it is true, where you can play for tomorrow in that sense. But at the same time, that's the next 7 games. So playing for tomorrow only gets you so far, because some of those games you're going to have to do the same shit with putting in a Krisky and putting in whatever in these close games. So it's something we're going to have to figure out. I mean, hopefully Cortez, Lasagna is coming back like today, right?
So's Nestor. They're both testing negative from what I saw, and they're both with the team. They just haven't been fully reinstated yet.
And then Gio Judge, sometime next week. Voit, end of the month, they say. Kluber, who the fuck knows? Sevy, through 30 pitches, look good. August, they're saying, who knows? Clint is literally like I don't know where that guy is. I
think Clint disappeared.
Damon wanted to go on a rant.
Kind of vision test I saw recently.
Yeah, Damon wanted to go on a rant about that. He thinks that they're keeping him down. I don't agree. I would like to hear what Damon had to say about that. He said he was going to go on a rant. I mean, Clint just had opportunities and he just stunk. So I think that's what that is. But here's the thing, I was saying this too before. Clint would be out there if it weren't for whatever the fuck is going on with him right now. Like, he's, I don't know.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, he would be out there over probably
Gardner.
Florial.
Yeah,
No?
I would put him over Florial too.
I wouldn't, not right now, but he would be, because
That's what I meant. He would have been out there.
They don't like Florial up there, and I mean, I kind of agree to an extent. You know, he probably needs more time in AAA, but I don't know.
I disagree. I think he looks great. Yeah, I know what they think. Yeah, but I think he should fucking stay up. Why not? He's a lefty bat. He's a good outfielder, good arm. It's just I don't see why you don't keep him up.
I don't know. I don't have an answer for that for you, Luke Rella.
Let's go to the next call.
What's going on, boys? It's your boy CJ Bambino from Long Island. What a fucking win tonight. Just when it looked like they were about to get their dicks kicked in, they say no and they fight back. Flores bunting was fucking amazing. He got up and I'm like, I really hope he doesn't try and swing for the fences to move the runner over. Oh man, what a game. Greg Allen, like I said, big spark plug. Odor is a monster. He's just hitting home runs now. He's going crazy. He's got the boys going crazy. Lemaire now. I love it. I really hope they ride this energy into Fenway and they come and they shove and they just do what they have to do to beat Boston. We need to kick these guys' asses and we need to show them that we're not going to be sellers at the deadline. We're going to be buyers. We're going to go get the pieces we need. And you know what? We're going to make the playoffs and we're going to do what we got to do in the playoffs. Let's fucking go Yankees. Keep doing what you're doing, boys. Be good.
Appreciate the call, CJ. One of the OGs. 914-469-2168 is the number. Hit our line. He said a lot of things that sparked so much in my brain. Just like, we got to kick their ass. Could you imagine how we're going to feel on the episode next Tuesday or Monday when we record, wherever we recorded the Tuesday episode? If we sweep the Red Sox in a 4-game series, we are going to be on the fucking moon.
I just got goosebumps thinking about that. Also, fun fact and a little preview to the action episode next week. If we do sweep the Red Sox, there'll be a little poem from the action specialist BJ about how the Yankees season is not dead and how the Red Sox suck. So he's a big Red Sox fan. So everybody get ready for that because it's coming.
Dude, and he spoke about the being buyers at the deadline. If we play well, we'll be solidified as buyers. We're buyers either way. I'm just a little bit pissed off that nothing happened already. Like, why are we waiting? If we wait longer, the price is only going to go up. And I said that before, but like, why? I want something done today. Like, I feel like right now I want to break news. I want to hit the breaking news fucking sound on the soundboard and be like, yo, we got Joey Gallo, or yo, we got Starlin Marte. Why is it taking this long?
Dude, I actually have that. That's
obvious.
a problem I have with MLB in general. Why does everybody wait till the day of? Why don't you get shit done before? Like the Braves, when Acuna went down, they went and got Jock Peterson the next fucking day. Go do that. Especially
because look at the team right now. Like, we have such a slate of games coming up right now that is make or break for this season, and we're playing with a little league lineup that is playing well right now. But why are we waiting and not having it? Why don't we have Gallo up for this game or start Marte up for this game? We need it. We need it so bad. Like, if we had Marte in there, like, these guys will hold it over and give us a more of a fighting shot. We have a fighting shot to win these series, absolutely. But like, come on, these games are the whole season right now. Don't wait until the deadline because it's a deadline. Just fucking, for once in your life, do something before it's due. I know back in college you always wait till the deadline. I guess they have that same fucking mentality, but like, make a move right now. We need it. Whether or not you make the move today, it's obviously not going to happen. Gallo was taking ABs in Texas, but that happened with Greinke last year. Greinke was pitching, and he was like, oh, I got traded. He left the game, and he got traded to Houston. Like, just fucking do. I think that was against the Yankees, too, wasn't it? He pitched against us that
was
day.
like 3 years ago, by the way. But
it was 2 years ago.
It was 2018.
2019.
It's 2018.
I remember being at work. It was the beginning of this podcast. We wanted to get Greinke.
I'm going to look it up. No, it was 2019. It was 2019. It was 2019. You're right. I was at work. I remember it because I was pissed off too.
Yep.
It was 20 minutes after the deadline.
He was pitching against us, and then he left the game. He literally left the game and went to Houston. What team was he on before that?
The Diamondbacks.
He was on the D-backs for a little bit.
The Royals before that.
Yeah.
He was on the Brewers. And then the Royals.
All right, next call.
Oh, he's on the
Fucking
Dodgers.
go, boys. Brian Lamar, walk off. Let's fucking go, baby. Dude, I'm telling you, these fucking Scranton goddamn rail riders, bro. They come up, they're fired up, getting everything fucking rolling, dude. Making the boys, making Stanton, making Glaber, making Gary, making everybody get fired up for this shit. These boys want to play. These boys are sticking to the pinstripes. I fucking love it, man. Greg Allen is a fucking god. Brian Lamar comes on, does the job. These boys are hungry, man. These boys, they're fighting to stay in the pinstripes. And I fucking love it, dude. Absolutely fucking love it. Pitching did their job. Fucking boys stepped up, did their job. The Yankees are finally fun to watch again, man. Like, this is what we've been waiting on all fucking year. If this is what it takes for the boys to get rolling, then this is what it takes. But let's keep going with fucking Scranton, bud. These boys are fucking getting it. Come on, baby. Let's go Yanks.
I think at this point, like you said, if this is what it takes, come on, let's do it. At this point, the way it's been going for the last 3 years, let's just schedule a July-August time period where that's going to be like the Scranton week. Like, we just bring up the Rail Riders, and they're going to play in place of, we give all the guys in the team, because they all need rest days anyway, so we save all the rest days for a week, and then we just have Scranton week, and we just publicize it. Like, you're going to get fucking Greg Allen, you're going to get Tyler Wade, maybe not Tyler Wade, he might be on the Sun then, but that's just Scranton week, and then it's just like a reset button for the whole lineup. Because like he said, and we said before, like, this team is playing to keep the pinstripes on. So they have the fight, they need it. And that's, I think maybe Scranton week could also be like putting the rest of the starters on notice. Like, hey, look at Greg Allen right now. Brett Gardner, you might not have a job.
I wish they would actually hold somebody accountable like that. Like, I wish it mattered what these next man up people did to where the starters weren't just guaranteed their jobs back.
It does a little bit. What are you talking about?
No, it doesn't.
Brett Gardner quite literally may not have a job if Greg Allen keeps playing like this.
Not true.
He'll be on the roster, but he won't get cut. But
look what Clint Frazier did in his first stint when Brett Gardner was like flailing and 100 years old, and they were still like, all right, see you, Clint. I don't give a shit that you've been our best hitter on the next man up team. We're going to still play Brett Gardner, and you can have fun in AAA. I know that hasn't panned out over the long run, but it doesn't matter what they do. Andujar
just
missed
saying,
the whole
I know-
season. Andujar missed an
No,
entire
I know he
season.
did, but like still,
Where's
we were
Andujar?
talking about it.
He's got a wrist strain. He's out until the end of the month.
Want
But
him back.
he even before he got hurt, when he came back originally, last year, 2 years ago, again in the beginning of the podcast, we were talking about like position battles, and the position battles were Ford versus Voit and Urshela versus Andujar, even when Andujar was healthy, and we were debating that pretty heavily.
Well, Andujar got his job back when 2019 he tore his labrum on opening day, or maybe the
Right.
second day, diving back into third. And he played through it, whatever. Then he went on the IL with soreness, and they're like, "Oh yeah, he's going to rehab it." And then he came back, and he took his job right back over, and he was fucking abysmal. And then he went and got the surgery, and then it became Gio's job, and he did it for a whole year.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. But even Gio was kicking ass, and then Andujar came back, and they gave it to him immediately. They're not going to – it doesn't matter what these guys do, which is the sad thing.
No, you're right. It's true.
One last thing that I wanted to talk about. That was our last voicemail, but we didn't talk about Chapman at all. So Chapman came in the 9th.
Back-to-back
And-
games.
Back-to-back games. So what are our thoughts on Chapman?
He gave up a fucking nuke to McCutchen. But other than that actually, I think that turned his season around, giving up that home run. I'm going to
What?
say it. Giving up that home run? Because after that,
I'm
he fucking
eager to
locked
hear
in.
how you
Okay, well, don't
explain
interrupt
this
me then.
one.
So he came in 2 days ago, and his first save in like a month. He was kind of all over the place, like did whatever, sucked ass, gave up a fucking nuke. Like I'm talking 7,000 feet to Andrew McCutchen, and that kind of lit a fire. He was pissed off. He came in and struck out like 2 people, blew the last guy away at 101, got his stare back, and then last night he did the same thing. He looked great. He walked a guy, picked him off, struck out 2 more. He stared him down at 101. Like, I think that McCutchen home run pissed him off and kind of sparked something under him. He was like, all right, I'm tired of being dog shit. I'm just going to rear back and throw it 1,000 miles an hour. I'm not trying to locate anymore. I'm just mad and I'm going to throw the ball. It's crazy what happens. Because before that, he was located. He was throwing like 96 and just missing spots all over the place. Then he got pissed off and was just rearing back and letting it loose.
Letting it loose is definitely what he was doing. He's taking heads off. Like, I don't know. Like, he ended up going through and having a clean inning last night, but he looked like shit. He can't locate he can't locate at all. He started out with the fucking 3-1 count, and then I think he walked him, and then they had a double play. He had the pick off that saved him.
He picked the guy off and he struck out 2, I believe.
Dude, like, but the location, he's wild right now. Like, wild thing, Rick Vaughn. It's just he hasn't had control. So the stat sheet may look clean, but it didn't look like that when you watched yesterday. So in terms of if you're talking about your confidence in him, I don't think he's fully, like, you talk about job security. Obviously, he's probably going to be still the closer for the rest of the year. We'll talk about picking him up, like continuing to have him on the team later. But I think there's still an opportunity there for games to be close. I don't think Boone is like he's been asked about like is Chapman going to close the game. I think he's earned that back, at least for the time being. Like in the Red Sox series upcoming. Tie game, or we're up 1 in the 9th inning. You 100% without a doubt want Chapman to come in?
Who else would you take right now?
I mean, Loizaga when he comes back.
I would give him a shot. Right now, I would give him game 1. Well, maybe not because that's 3 days in a row. I would give him, say he takes tonight off for rest and tomorrow's his first game back, I'd give him game 2 and see how he does. And if he comes out and he shuts it down, then I think you start using him regularly again until he proves that he can't do it. I think if he comes out and he shits the bed, then it's time to revisit that and actually revisit it as like, fuck. But he looked good. I don't care. I mean, yeah, he had those 2, and they stand out because he almost killed 2 guys, but he's always been wild, and he's made it work. This isn't news. It's not like, oh, shit, Chapman lost his control. Chapman never had control.
I mean, the alternatives are Chad Green, who hasn't looked great recently either, and Loizaga, who will be coming, even if he comes back tonight, it'll be his first game back, and do you want to throw him right in the closer role right then? No, you don't. So I agree he's going to be closing. I think it's just by default right now, but I don't think it's if he had other options, I mean, Britton could go too, but he didn't really look great.
Fuck no.
No, but he didn't really look great either. I don't know. I think it's by default at this point, but I'm not 100% happy about it. That's what I'll say.
No, I'm not saying he's gonna like win Cy Young out of the closer role, but I feel like he's starting to get it back. That's all I was saying. I think that sparked something. I really think that pissed him off when McCutcheon hit that ball out. He's looked like a completely different pitcher since.
There's a lot of other reasons to be pissed off if you're him. I mean, McCutcheon is just, I guess, the cherry on top, but he's been fucking abysmal for a month. So hopefully he turns that around, and we need him. We need him bad, and we plan on being in a lot of close games. The Scranton Yankees, if we do win, we're not going to be blowing out the Red Sox and Tampa Bay. I think at first,
you don't know that.
I think at first, we like now a little bit. The Red Sox and Rays are like, okay, these guys have some fight. Like it's no longer like this random team that you have no film on. Like that first series, we go 2-1 against the Red Sox. We just kind of catch them by surprise. Now it's like, okay, they're really coming for us now. Let's turn it on. We can't lose again to these guys. So I think we're gonna get our best stuff out of the Red Sox. So I really am curious to see how the Scranton Rail Riders can hold up against them. So
I have a gripe. Why is Greg Allen not? Are you gonna play the sound?
Don't have it queued up.
You fucked up. I do have a gripe. Why is Greg Allen batting 7th right now on this team? I'm not saying when Judge and Gio and stuff are back, he should be hitting 3rd or 4th, but in yesterday's lineup, why is Greg Allen hitting 7th?
Let's treat this as a little bit of a pregame show. What do we think the lineup is today? Or what would you want?
I want
DJ
leading off.
They've had Stanton in the 2-hole. I'd say we probably keep that the same.
I don't like having Stanton and Judge in the 2-hole. Judge was doing awesome in the 3-hole, but Stanton is good in the 2-hole. So I'd go DJ, Judge. I would like Greg Allen.
Judge isn't back. So
not Judge, Stanton, sorry. DJ, Stanton, Greg Allen.
They've had Odor in the 3-hole.
Yeah, I know. I want Greg Allen.
I'd keep him there.
You want him in the 3-hole?
He's been there. And he's been doing well. He's a lefty, so I would keep him there.
I'm saying Greg Allen.
I want Greg Allen in the top of the order.
No, I like Odor in the 3-hole. Greg Allen?
I want Greg Allen. I want Greg Allen in the top because he can score with those guys, the power hitters.
Put him at 5. Break up the lineup. 4, Gary. 5, Greg Allen. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever.
I mean, Glaber, you're leaving
I like him 6. I like what we had yesterday. I like what we had yesterday. Just switch Gardy and Greg Allen.
Gardy needs to be batting last, or Tyler Wade.
Well, Tyler Wade's hitting then 4. Maybe move Florial up because I think he hit 9.
3rd?
It's so wild having this many lefties.
Dude, yeah, I know. Maybe not 3rd, but I really want Greg Allen up towards the top.
What was he yesterday? 7?
Yeah.
Move him up 1. Put him at 6.
Or different thought here. Put him at 9 and then let him get on and do some funky stuff when he's got DJ and Stanton behind him because you're sure as hell not going to put him in front of him.
Why not this? Why not put him at leadoff? I know that's never going to happen. And then put DJ in the 2-hole because DJ is nothing but a 3-4 hole hitter. That takes the double play out of the equation when you got a speedy guy on first who's getting on base.
No, I mean, on paper,
on paper, it's awesome.
Not the worst idea.
No, if I was making like a Mario baseball lineup, I would do that every day. I know that this is obviously you can't do that, but
interesting
I like
that you went Mario baseball instead of like MLB The Show, which is already preloaded with these players.
I don't know because I have never played the show.
It's a sin.
But, I didn't have a PlayStation, so
I think I would do that if I was playing the show. Right now against you guys, I would probably put Greg Allen at the top of the order. I would put DJ at 2, and then I would shift everybody back 1. I think for our purposes, if you're gonna move him up to like 6, I think he's better used. If you're gonna have him in the back 3rd of the order, put him at 9, like you said, Merv. It's no difference to us if you have him in 7, 8, 6. I'd rather have him in the double leadoff spot. You know, he's not going to be 4. He's not going to be in the middle of the order. He's not going to be at the top. So if he's going to be in the back 3rd, put him at 9. Stop moving him up, honestly, because double leadoff is huge. And he's a switch hitter, so take with that.
The double leadoff only matters like once, though. If he's coming
What?
behind Gardner and like Gittins and Wade or something, or there's more often than not, he's going to come up with like 2 outs.
I don't know.
I
guess
want him
we'll
on
wait and
base.
see.
I want a guy with that fast up for if Stan hits a fucking laser beam down the line. I want him trying to score, not somebody else. Well, I guess that's not a good example because Stan's been hitting second. But if like Gary hits a rope and Stanton's on first, like he's not scoring.
He's not scoring. Yeah.
He's not scoring, and you need every run you can get against the Red Sox.
If
Gary hits a rope in the gap and Greg Allen's on first, he might score twice.
Wade and Greg Allen are the only 2 people that can score from first on a double, and Tyler Wade is never on first. So
exactly.
It was just so weird also that since all of our guys that would be pinch running are in the starting lineup yesterday when I forget who it was.
Gary.
I think it was Gary. Yeah, because in the top of the 10th, Gary was on second because of the new stupid rule. So I was literally like, okay, who do we even have? Who do we have left? First of all, second
do we
of all,
have another catcher on the roster?
No, because Higgy, I don't even know who the third catcher is, but Higgy is also on the COVID IL. Wherever the fuck's happening with him, he's not available. So I touched Damon. I was like,
McCann.
yo,
No, McCann was the backup catcher.
No, he's not.
Or
He's not on the
Brantley.
team.
What's his name? Brantley.
Brantley, the first baseman. I mean, he is a catcher, but
Chirinos was on the team, but he's not on the team anymore. But I was just saying I don't even know the third catcher, so I don't even think we have one available. And I was just like, dude, it's the extra innings. We need somebody to pinch run right now. All of our pinch runners are currently in the game or subbed out because at the time Wade got subbed out for Chris Gittins for a pinch hit situation, so he's not available. He was also in the lineup to start. Greg Allen would be the guy that I would say would pinch run. He's starting. He's probably our best player. So it's just like we didn't have anybody to pinch run. So I guess that's the one caveat to being the Scranton Yankees is that we don't have anybody to come in and do. Like I'm gonna look right after this to find out who our fucking reserves are to even get. Like who do we have? Who else is?
Dude, did you know Baseball Reference does your top 12 players by WAR? Like as the homepage? I didn't know that. Little fun fact for you while I'm looking at it. Jordan Montgomery is 4th on the team in WAR. Ahead of Gio, ahead of Gary, ahead of Stanton.
That's
fact. Wild. Ahead of DJ. So
Jordan Montgomery, huh?
Yeah, he's got a 1.7 WAR.
Good old Gumby.
All right.
I like him.
So
I figured that'd be fitting since he's pitching.
Yeah,
tonight,
I was gonna say hopefully he can keep that going. Hopefully we get him some run support because he hasn't had a single run of run support in the last 5 starts. I think it is. So
fuck some ass, Jordan.
Let's fuck some ass, spit in my mouth. Let's go.